Hey guys, and welcome back to Scottyknows. First, I want to apologize for being a little MIA the past couple weeks. I'm actually just getting over a stomach virus for the past week. Plus, I got another project I've been working on, and I'll take you guys and show you that in just a minute. But in this video, we are back on the D16Z6 build, and upon request, I went ahead and polished this. So it gives a little bit more contrast with the other chrome I have going on here and the aluminum. So I think it gives a little good contrast to it. But in the previous video, we installed the Gates timing belt here. We got the power steering pump as well as the alternator, and I went ahead and put the alternator belt on just to kind of get that snug on there. I'm still waiting for the power steering belt. But in the meantime, I did get some extra parts, and that stuff that we'll play with here is I actually got some Fuel Injector Clinic 775, I believe they're 775 fuel injectors. So these are things I'm going to install. I don't plan on running a tremendous amount of boost, so I think this would be more than suitable, as well as I got some V-Power spark plugs, just for reference too, is the stock number there. These are made for, I guess, the Turbo Civics, so I think they should be cool enough for me to be able to run what I need to run, as well as I do have the blue NGK spark plug wire set. So I do have a lot that I'm working on today. I'm going to be doing the valve lash finally and getting that set. Since I have this nice and polished here, I can go ahead and get this prepped. So once I get the valve lash done, I can get this set in. So we're going to do that. But let me show you my other project I've been working on real quick, and you can see why I've been busy. So here we are in my basement. I'm actually building a bar. So I've been doing a lot of drywall finishing and prep work and all that good stuff. So trying to get this thing all good and taken care of. But it's a lot to work on. Got the one TV, got another TV going up over here, as well as another one up in the corner over here, as well as my dartboard gonna go there. So it's working pretty well. But got the recessed lighting, some surround sound speakers. Everything's looking good. And of course on the other side here, I do got the other speakers. And of course on the other side is my gym. So on another note real quick, I know I've made videos on the Trailblazer in the past, and I've had some issues with the vibrations and shaking. I have rebuilt all the suspension, new drive shaft, transmission, all that good stuff, and I still had a violent shaking. I even did the hub bearings and all that. But I didn't have time to really work on it. Plus I didn't have the balls enough to put it up on jack stands and have the car and run. Since it is four-wheel drive, I didn't want to risk myself being underneath the car if it jumped off. So I took it to my mechanic, and it turned out to be the transfer case was kind of loose and shaking. So we ended up replacing that, and this thing runs like a dream. So I just want to give a quick update on that. If you watch my Trailblazer videos, I just want to get a quick update on that as well. Alright guys, so I got myself set up here to do some valve lashing here. I've kind of already got everything loose. Everything is good to go. I got my little cheat sheet here. This is how I'm actually going to do it. So pretty much there's a couple different sequences. For my intake is 6 thousandths, and then my exhaust is 8 thousandths. And then of course I got the first sequence, which I'm going to do the exhaust. While I got it on top dead center, which I do now, is going to be the first cylinder and the third cylinder, as well as being able to do the intake on 1 and 2. And then I'll rotate it 180 degrees on my second time, and then I'll do the exhaust. I'll do 2 and 4, and then I'll finish up with 3 and 4 on the intake. So I got myself set up. Let me get you set up, and then we'll get this knocked out. All right, so first sequence is done, you know, exhaust 1 and 3, and then intake 1 and 2. So I'm going to rotate this thing over 180 degrees here. I'm going to get my top dead center down to the bottom, and then we shall get the other ones done. Alright guys, so my camera kind of died and I did finish the valve lash. Everything is good. I double checked it twice. Again, so after I did the first sequence, which I believe was 1 and 3 for the exhaust and 1 and 2 for the intake, I did rotate it 180 degrees so I got the timing marks opposite each other. And then I went ahead and finished up the other one. So I did, for the exhaust, I did 2 and 4. And then for the intake, you know, 3 and 4. So everything is tight, everything is good. Everything still rotates, that's positive. So we're gonna work on some other stuff here. So real quick, I am gonna be doing the fuel rail. I got the fuel injectors, which are actually under the valve cover here. So I'm gonna get those prepped. Also gotta prep this, get that ready to get set on. I think that's about ready to seat itself there. And of course, I do have to work on the distributor. So I'm going to clean this up, make it look clean, and get it on the car. So a little bit of work. Also, I did find another plastic online. I don't know if you guys remember when I first started the video, this thing was pretty tore up and mangled. It did overheat a little bit. And that actually sits behind the crank pulley here. So I'm going to put that in once I get it. That should be here soon. So hopefully I can get that on and get this block and motor to the finishing line. Since this video seems to be full of updates and since the weather outside is getting beautiful, I figure it's about time. And of course, getting closer with the motor being done, I got to make sure that this thing is ready to receive it. So now naturally, of course, the car is a little dirty, but the car is a Ferrari red. I believe it's the Rosa Corsa, if I'm not mistaken. Either way, I went with red initially. Well, I like red, and of course the engine bay was already red, so at least initially when I first got the car and got it painted, I was able to drive it. It worked. But since I am going to be putting that clean motor in here, I want this thing to be clean too. So a lot to take apart, a lot to prep. I actually found a company. I'll share that information once it comes in, that actually makes the vehicle paint and spray paint form. So I got to get some scuff pads, some cleaning stuff. I like to roll the car out and actually pressure wash the inside here just to make it a little bit easier to clean. Scuff it up, rough it up. I got some primer, some paint, and some clear. So hopefully I can make it nice and clean and match the motor. So that's going to be coming up in another video, probably here really soon. But it's coming along. And it was actually the Ferrari red, the Rosa Corsa, or Corsa Rosa, one of the two. So it should match the car pretty much. And I think I got enough paint that I can tackle the engine bay, but also the trunk. So I think that's going to work. Also, I have, of course, if you've seen the inside of it before, right now it's used for storage for the material I got for the Civic over here. But if you notice, the dashboard actually has the airbag on it, which is good for safety, but you can see that indentation there. I was never able really to get that out, and I just find it to be a little bit tacky. So I'm probably going to swap that dash out as well. I think I'll do that simultaneously, because now I'm getting to the point where I got to prep the dull sole. I do have another dash here that actually does not have the airbag, so everything seems to be in pristine condition. So pretty much I'll just remove this one completely. I got to paint this one, prep this one, and put it in the car. But as far as the prep work, so when I do that, I don't know, there's going to be a combination of stuff, a lot of stuff going on. But also too, I got to prep the fuel system for the car, for the motor. So I'm going to pull the fuel tank and probably get that painted and cleaned out, all that good stuff. So I know it's probably got a little bit of old gas in it, so I'm going to use some tricks I've learned to kind of clean that out a little bit and see if I can get that ready for the motor. Because naturally I don't want any contaminants and stuff in there, so we'll have to go from there. Of course, I still got some inserts I got to put in here, probably in the trunk somewhere. It'll be one clean machine. Got some carpet pieces down here, still got to be finished up. But it's got new carpet. Everything is clean. I'm probably gonna have to pull the back out and go from there. A little dusty in there. Kind of scares me when I see some stuff on. Yep, I gotta get in here and clean this thing too. Alright, so I got the distributor all painted and I went ahead and mounted it on. Just kind of got it centered up. Of course, it'll need some adjusting once I get the motor running, all that good stuff. But I got it on. We're looking good. So what I'm going to focus on now is getting these fuel injectors in, which actually I have the Fuel Injector Clinic fuel injectors. I believe these are the 775s. Again, I'm not going too crazy with the boost and power. I just want something that's kind of reliable. But will, you know, have a little punch to it, I guess you could say. So that's kind of my goal. So I'm going to get these things set in and get it going. All right, so real quick, I'm actually cleaning out the inside of the fuel rail. You know, since it was machined, you know, there's probably some debris inside. Plus I did clean out the threads and stuff to get my regulator, pressure regulator in there, or my pressure gauge. So you can kind of see it's a little bit of stuff in there. I haven't completely pulled it out yet. Just kind of making sure the insides are clean. So I took some throttle body cleaner, just kind of put it on the inside, and then hopefully it'll be clean. I'll probably run it through a few more times. Still a little bit of debris in there. So I'll run it through a couple more times, make sure everything's cleaned out, but I want to make sure everything's clean before I install it. All right, so I got the seals in, everything is good. I actually used my axle nut tool for the Hondas, which I guess is a 32 millimeter or 1.25 inch or something like that could work as well. I did replace it with the OEM gaskets. So it's kind of, I'll probably rip the part number. You see. So new seals, everything is in. I am probably going to repaint the valve cover, so I'm not going to set it yet. But of course I do have my spark plugs. I might go ahead and throw those in and go from there. Alright guys, so I got the valve seals in here, or not the valve seals, but the spark plug seals in. Everything is seating nice and good. I'm probably going to wait on putting the gasket on because I still, you know, it's been across my mind. I still want to repaint this, make this, you know, as good as the rest of the car is going to be. So I think that's going to probably be it for this video. But to get the fuel injectors installed, everything is nice and secure, ready to go. I got to start playing with the wiring harness a little bit, getting that all cleaned up and good stuff. And I got the adapters, the plug and play adapters to plug in here, but of course I'll do that in the next video as well. And I am waiting on my plastic piece to come in to cover this. So once that comes in, I'll pop this off, throw that on, then this side will be complete. So there's a little bit more work to do. So I think in the next D16Z6 build video, I'll probably go ahead and repaint this, make it all good. And I'm probably going to start a new build. And of course got the distributor all nice and pretty. But I am going to start a new video here soon. I started working on the engine bay. I'm getting this ready for some paint. I got to remove the fenders, the hood. I still got to remove some stuff off the firewall, the brake booster, master cylinder, all that good stuff. As well as, again, I got the dashboard that I'm going to install. So that's going to be part of the video. So I got all my AC and power steering components. Again, I like to keep that in the car. But I got this dash I want to go ahead and clean up and paint too. So I'm going to pull the old dash out and give me better access to the stuff behind and kind of go from there. But I think that's going to do it for today's video. Sorry it took me a while to put out some content. As you've seen in the earlier clips, I am currently renovating the basement, going through all that process. So a lot going on here, plus springtime. I got some grass to cut, all that good stuff. So I got a lot going on, and I'm just trying to make the best of it. So stay tuned. Very, very soon, this motor is going to be complete. I'm going to get my transmission. I'm going to get some turbo set up, turbo kit, all that good stuff. So we got a lot coming. So stay tuned for the next video. So on that note, see you in the next video. Please like, subscribe, comment, and see you later.